Video editing is one of the most crucial things that make and break a video. In this video, I'm going to teach you how I make my videos, specifically how I edit them. Without further ado, let's get started. So our first stop is OBS, and you may be wondering, why are you in OBS? This is not an editing software. So I'm going to teach you something that I usually always do so that I have an easier time editing my videos. So this technique is called audio tracking, and what it basically does is it's going to separate the game audio from your mic audio. It's very useful if you want to hear the game audio or the Discord audio or your mic, and it's very useful and I use it all the time. So I go into my settings and then I go into the output tab. I go to recording. I set my audio tracks to 2 and 3. This 2 and 3 tracks are very important, because if I go over here into this audio capture thing, it really works for any audio device that you have, and hit advanced audio properties, you're gonna see that the audio input capture or my microphone is set on tracks 1 and 2, and the desktop audio is set as tracks 1 and 3. So we're talking about recording here. It's like the first track is used for streaming, and then these 2 and 3 tracks, I use them all for my recording. So it's very useful. You have one universal audio track, which you use for streaming, and then for each audio device that you have, you always have to set one individual track for these for the audio tracks, so that when you actually record the video and you look into the editing, you can actually separate the audio tracks into multiple tracks. So that is very useful. Ignore the activate windows, by the way. I'm very poor, so I didn't buy a product key for this. So yeah, just ignore that. Welcome to HitFilm Express. Now this is going to be the home page that you're going to see when you boot up HitFilm. And all these like windows over here are just like ads from the FX Home website, I think. But yes, I'm using the free version of HitFilm Express. I do not have any money to buy the pro version, let alone even have a payment method for it. But it doesn't matter. I can edit my videos well enough with just the free version alone. So what you want to do first is create a new project. So at the top left of the screen, you want to hit on new, and this window will appear. It's going to be your new project settings. You can modify this however you want, but I usually have mine set to these settings over here. My template is 1080p Full HD 30 FPS. It all depends on your recording software though, or your recording settings. If you have your recording settings to 720p HD at 30 FPS, then set this to 720p HD at 30 FPS. But I have mine set to 1080p Full HD 30 FPS. The duration does not matter. You can leave it as is, because you can still modify the duration anyway. The width will correspond to your template. The frame rate will correspond to your template, and the aspect ratio will correspond to your template. The audio it obviously varies, but I have mine set to 48,000 Hz. You can leave the rendering settings alone and click on OK. A few moments later, you'll be redirected to the HitFilm's main interface. This interface is going to be what you're working with, and all the windows here are going to be used to edit your video. Starting from the top left is one of the most important windows of HitFilm. It's the controls panel, but as you can see, there is nothing right now because I do not have any clips on my timeline. The tracking layer is more or less for motion tracking, and the layout is mainly used for alignment. So I don't really use it anything else except for like alignment purposes. In the top middle window, you will have your viewer tab. This is where you're going to see a preview of your edited video. In the left side of the viewer tab, you're going to see some tools. This is a selection tool. This is a movement hand tool thing. I forgot what it was called. The translate tool. I think, yeah, you can just move your canvas around with this tool. This is the text tool, where you can create text. This is the mask tool, where you can create masks. If you know what masks is, or if you know what masking is, then good job. You at least know something about editing before you watch this video. Next is the freehand mask, or the edit points tool, where you can basically just create freehand masks around your video. Beside the viewer tab is the layer tab, which I do not really know what it's for. I do not really use it. And beside that is the export tab, which I pretty much use for exporting my videos. Beside this window, you will find the effects tab, which is going to consist of all the effects that you have. Effects are one of the most crucial things that makes your video look 10 times better. Try to familiarize yourself with the effects that you find in this window. In the bottom left window over here is going to be your media tab. This is where you're going to find all your imported footage. Next, the history tab, which is going to track down all your actions inside of HitFilm. And then the text tab is where you can modify the text that you put in your clips. Beside this window, you will have your editor panel, or I commonly call it, and most editors call it, the timeline. This is where you're going to stack up your clips, you're going to arrange them, and you're going to like modify them to however you like. Beside this is more tools which you can use to make the process easier. So like there are lots of tools, but I never really use most of them. All I use is the rate stretch tool, which you can use to adjust the speed of your video. I do not know what these other three icons are for because I never really use them. This slider over here is going to adjust how big your timeline will be, or like how zoomed in to your timeline will you be. And then beside the editor panel, you will have the meters. This is basically going to tell you how loud your video is, with this left channel over here being the left earphone and the right earphone, or left headphone or right headphone, depending on if you use headphones or earphones or absolutely nothing at all. But regardless, it's going to tell you how loud your video is going to be if it is played through headphones, in terms of decibels, of course. So now that you familiarize yourself with HitFilm's interface, I should have said this earlier, but you can actually adjust the interface to however you like. So for instance, you can set the viewer tab to beside the effect controls tab if you want to. You can put the effects tab like let's say with these people over here, so like over there, or I don't know, you can get rid of the meters tab if you don't really need it by just click on the full container and then exit. But I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna do it anyway. But you can also put it back using this window thing over here. So now that's there, you can drag it. I have it dragged down there, and yeah, you can edit the interface however you like, but I'm just gonna keep it back to how I want it, which is like this. You can also drag this line over here to make it bigger or to make it smaller, depending on what you want to do. And yeah, that's basically it for the interface. Now we can start editing our video. Your first step is to click on this import button over here below the media, and you want to find out which video recording you want to edit. So you're just gonna wanna find you're gonna want to navigate to the folder where you keep your OBS recording. So in my case, it's in the D drive, in the video footage, and in the OBS recordings. So I'm just gonna find a video footage that works. So let's say this one, the work in a pizza place short video. So once you've got that selected, you wanna click on it and then hit on open. So there you go. You're gonna have your footage over here in your media tab, and before you drag it into the timeline, you first wanna click on it and then hit Ctrl D. This is going to allow you to duplicate your footage. This is important because this is what is going to allow you to utilize your audio tracking feature. What I mean is, you can right click on the footage, click on properties, and you can see over here is your audio stream. You want to click on this one and set to a different audio track. So in my case, since I have my audio tracks set to 2 and 3, this is going to be audio track number 3. If you have 3 audio tracks recorded, duplicate your video 2 times to get 3 footage, and then set all the audio tracks to their individual corresponding audio tracks. Once you've done that, click on OK, and now with that being done, you wanna hold down your mouse button and you want to select all of your footage and then drag them into your timeline. So there you go. Now you have your footage imported into HitFilm Express. Now your next step is you want to make sure that you have both footage playing at the same time. You do not want to have messed up audio or whatever like that. I'm just gonna enable this because I had a failed take because my microphone was off. But for this for this to work, you want to select your other footage and then drag it up and over to the start. This is going to make sure that both audio tracks 2 and 3, or 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, this is going to make sure that those audio tracks are playing synchronously at the same time. So I'm just gonna edit this in and out points. This is an in and out point. This is going to be important later on. So once you've synchronously, or you synchronized your audios, you want to hit Control Shift / with one of the video footage selected. This is going to allow you to unlink your video and your audio. Another way to do this is I'm going to hit Control Z to undo, and then right click and then unlink. This is also going to allow you to unlink your footage and your audio. Once you've done that, you're going to want to select your footage and then press on delete. This is going to allow you to delete your footage. Now you want to have a setup like this. You want to have your main footage in video track number 1, one of your audio tracks in audio track number 1, and another one of your audio tracks in audio track number 2. You also want to make sure that you have both game audio and microphone audio in a separate audio track. So to determine that, you want to look at how these audio wavelengths are oriented. If the wavelengths of audio 1 are different than the wavelengths in audio 2, then you're most likely fine. But if you want to make sure, you can mute one of the audio tracks and then play the video to see if you actually got the game audio and the mic audio to be playing separately. So, okay, I've started recording. Funny. So there you go. This is my mic audio on audio track number 2, and then if I move on to audio track number 1, you should be able to hear the game audio.
Nice. Funny.
There you go. You can now determine if your recording went perfectly well. If you can hear the game audio in separate audio tracks than the microphone audio in audio track number 2. So yeah, there you go. So you have both of your game and mic audio separated, and that is one of the most crucial things that I always look out for when editing my videos. But you also can just edit all in one audio track, but for advanced video editing, you want to separate your game audio and your mic audio. So now that you have your video set up, it is time to modify the video to your liking. What I usually like to do is I zoom into your timeline by holding Control and mouse wheel. This is going to allow you to zoom into your timeline, or again, as I said earlier, you can use this scroll head over here. So let's say you want to zoom in like at least this far. So again, it doesn't matter how far you want to zoom in, but as long as it's comfortable to you, then I will not complain. So the first technique I'm going to tell you is splicing and jump cuts. Splicing is basically the separation of clips into parts. So I'm going to go back to the start over here and play the video. Okay, I've started recording. Funny. So let's say you want to splice after I say the word funny. So I'm going to drag the playhead to when I just finished saying funny, which is around like after this small wavelength over here. So like about there. But if you want to make sure, you want to click on this orange in and out point thing, and then play the video and stop it at where you want to splice the video. Okay, I've started recording. Funny. So let's say over here, it's a bit off from the audio track, but that is fine. So let's say you want to add a splice here. So what you want to do is you want to select all of your footage, hit Control Shift D. This is going to allow you to cut your clips into parts. So why this is important is that you're going to splice a lot in editing, and I mean a lot. You're going to splice things to trim videos into pieces. You're going to splice your videos for so many reasons. So like, let's say you want to trim the video into an earlier start, so you can splice it and then delete this clip over here, and now you have a shorter video. But you can also splice to jump cut. As I told you earlier, jump cutting is, I didn't say what jump cutting is, sorry. Jump cutting is a smooth transition of a cut between one clip to another clip that is ahead in time. So you see jump cuts very often in YouTube videos, and the process is very simple. So you did a splice there, and then you want to play the video, and then you want to make another splice to where you want the jump cut to end. So I'm gonna play the video.
Right.
I think I fixed my audio this time. That way I don't have to like deal with that again. Okay, so I wanna start it like right over here when I say the next line. So before this wavelength over here, this wavelength, you gotta know how to read them, because this is very important, so that you can know where you can position your playhead. So once you've positioned your playhead, this thing is the playhead. Once you've positioned it at where you want to end the jump cut, you want to select all your footage, hit Ctrl-Shift-D, and then you did another splice. Delete the selected clip. And then what am I saying? You want to right-click on the empty space and then hit Ripple Delete Gap. This is going to move all of your footage to the left side. But in some cases, let's say you have this audio track extended, and then you try to ripple delete the gap. It's only going to register to the firstmost point of what is available. So let's say you cut this down, and then you ripple delete gap again. So it's going to ripple delete only to the starting of this footage, because this footage plays earlier than your audio track. So I'm going to put this back to here, and then ripple delete gap again. So this is going to allow you to jump cut between this scene and this other scene. Funny. I think... Yeah, you've heard it in the audio transition, so you've seen the effects of the jump cut. This is going to allow you to jump cut between one point and another. So I'm going to show you how it works again if you still do not know what it is. So I'm going to set the playhead over here, and I'm going to drag it slowly to the other side. So this is after funny, and then this is going to jump cut to this frame over here. That is a jump cut, one of the most basic things that you can learn in a video edit, and one of the most commonly used techniques in YouTube video editing. The next important thing is trimming. Trimming is different than splicing, so I'm just gonna move this over there because I do not want that over there for now. Trimming is where you're extending the video to a point where you are going to, like, you want to extend the video to how long you want it to play for. So like, let's say you want this to extend to this part over there. So like, as you can see in the preview section, you can see that I'm extending the video further in time. So this is going to do that, and then you can have more of your video playing like that. And then you can also do the same thing with your audio track. There you go. So that is basically trimming in a nutshell. You can also do this going backwards, or yeah, you know. And in line with trimming, there's another technique called speed ramping, or adjusting the speed of your video. So this is the function of this rate stretch tool over here. This is going to allow you to speed up your video. So as you can see, instead of the standard trimming icon, you're going to be presented with this bracket type of icon with an arrow. So you can drag this all the way to, like, let's say the right, and then you can see that the audio wavelength has been adjusted. So this is going to allow you to speed up or slow down your video. So this is going to be playing much slower now.
Right.
So yeah, there you go. So now you have a sped up video or slow down video. It also works in the same way as over here. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it to normal speed because I don't want to speed it up. So there you go. That is one of the most commonly used techniques in video editing that I use. So now moving on to other techniques that I use, and one of the most important things in video editing is keyframing. Keyframing is basically what makes your video move around, zoom in, zoom out, and all those crazy movement animations in videos. In a nutshell, it goes like this. I'm going to zoom out the video right now. So you saw that the video was zoomed out to the black screen, so that's basically how keyframing works. I'm going to move the video to the left. Woo! There you go. I moved the video to the left. And that is how keyframing basically works. But before I teach you keyframing, I want to teach you how this controls panels work. Because knowing this controls panel is going to be crucial in knowing how keyframes work. So basically in this controls panel, I first go down to this transform window over here, or this transform tab, and you're going to see all these settings, and you're going to see all these values on the right side. So this is what's going to allow you to move around your video. So let's say you want to adjust the position, you want to make it move left. So you can basically move these values to like the left or to the right, so that you can, as you can see, you can move the video around to your liking. So let's say you wanna move it like there. So yeah, you can move it there with the position keyframe. Not keyframe, sorry, your position asset. And you can also move it up and down with this second value over here. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl Z to undo. And another thing is your scale. Your scale is going to allow you to zoom in and zoom out, or invert your video into another dimension. And now you're going into the rotation, which is self-explanatory. It's gonna make your video rotate. So let's say you want to flip it 180 degrees. So just flip 180 degrees. And there you have a 180 degree video. But an easy way to do this is just click on it and set your values to 180 to flip it around. Now you've got the basics of the transform in the controls panel. Now it's time to start animating your video to move around and look 10 times better. So let's say you want to zoom in. We're going to go a bit, let's say over here and a second in. You want to zoom in from this point to this point. So let's say over here, this is where it's gonna start. So you want to click on this blank button over here. You want to press on it and it's going to turn orange. So if I click off of it, you're gonna see a little yellow circle inside of that circle, and then you're gonna see a little diamond over here on this right side. This is called a keyframe. This is the points that the editing software is going to follow. That way you can know where or what points is the video going to stop moving at or whatnot. And then once that's done, you want to move your playhead to a certain point in time. So let's say about over here where you want to zoom in, and then you want to adjust your settings to, let's say you want to zoom into my face like that. So what it's going to look like is like this. There you go. You've done the zoom in method, and now one thing that makes this look better is motion blur. You want to check on the motion blur blocks. What? You want to check on the motion blur box, and then that's going to add motion blur into your zoom. So that makes it look better. So like you can see all these blurs happening around, and it sharpens at the point on where you're going to zoom in, and that makes it just looks all the better. This also works for position, so let's create a position keyframe over here, and then move into a certain point in time, and then move, let's say, to the left. So I'm going to zoom into this leaf over here, and let's play it out. It's going to zoom in to this leaf over there. So it kind of missed, but you can zoom in, so like that. So that is positioning keyframe at its finest. This also works, again, like you guessed it, for rotation. So let's go to the start, and then click, and then create a rotation keyframe, and then go a bit in time, like a few frames forward, and then we're gonna edit this rotation keyframe to, like, let's say that. So about 73 degrees, and then once you play it out, it's going to rotate. There you go. That is rotation, position, and scale keyframes. That's one of the most commonly used things I use as well for my videos, and I hope it's something that you will be able to use once you've mastered video editing in HitFilm Express. So now that you know how keyframes work and how this controls panels work, you can use it to make your videos have more emphasis in certain points. So like that is basically just what you want to do sometimes when you're editing a video. And yeah, I don't think I need further explanation, so let's move on to another technique that I commonly use, which is your face cam animation. This tip is only going to apply to those of you who use your face cam in your videos, but for my case, I do have a face cam over here. So I'm going to always use this technique so long as I have a face cam. So first of all, you're going to want to find a point where you want your face cam to, let's say, move or grow bigger. So I'm going to find a clip or a time in the video where that happens. So I'm just going to, let's say, this wavelength over here. Let's see if that's good. Because that's a pep, I think. I don't know. Alright, no, that's not a good place to animate your face cam, so let's just find another place. So let's say over here. Good luck, I guess. Like, good luck, I guess. Okay, this works. So, you want to set your playhead before the good luck, I guess. So like in the wavelength, before the wavelength over here. Or the wavelength, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but the audio waves over here, the sound waves, and then you want to select your video footage only. Your footage, you do not want to select this as well. You can select it as well, but I always select on this the video footage over here because it makes it easier. So you want to hit Ctrl-Shift-D to create a splice, and then you want to drag your playhead to the end of the part where you want to face cam. You want a face cam move, which is, let's say, over here, and then you want to create another splice. So you have one small clip in between these two clips. This is what you want to do. So you want to drag your playhead over to the middle of this clip, or the middle-ish. It doesn't have to be. But now you want to click on the clip, hit Ctrl-Shift / to unlink, and then click outside. You want to click on the blank portion. You want to click on the blank portion to deselect the clip. Because what you want to do next is you want to duplicate the footage. Just the footage, not the audio. So, to do that, you want to click and hold on your video footage, drag it to the video track above, so in my case, video 2. Hold Control. So instead, like, look at the cursor. You see how it's an arrow. If you hold Control, it's going to be a plus sign. This means you're going to duplicate your clip. Now you want to let go of your mouse button, but do not let go of Control unless you have let go of your clip. So I've let go of my clip. It's duplicated. Now I can release my finger from the Control button. So now you have a duplicate of your footage, and what you want to do now is mask it. So you want to click on this rectangular mask tool and then zoom out by using your mouse wheel. So like zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, and then zoom into your face cam. So I'm gonna zoom into like over here. That is the farthest I can get it to without it looking confusing. But I'm gonna double check anyway. Yeah, no, okay, this is the farthest I can get it. So there you go. So like about here. Now you want to select your rectangular mask tool and then draw a mask around your face cam. You can go outside your video because it's not gonna count anyway. There's nothing out there. And then you want to make sure that your mask falls only into your face cam. You do not want to have the mask go outside. You just want to have it at your face cam. So let's say like that. That works. And then you want to go over here. You want to double check if your mask is active by checking if this box is checked. But another way to double check is if you hide the footage of your initial duplicate. So in my case, I'm going to hide video track number 1. And then as you can see that I only have my face cam in the video. So that's what you want to do. That's what you want to look like, or that's what you want the video to look like. And then your next step is I'm gonna unhide the video so that you can see what I'm doing. Then your next step is you want to make sure that your face cam is, let's say, bigger. So in my case, I want to make it grow. So I'm going to set the scale value to 150. This is for me, but it's all for personal preference only. And then I'm going to drag using the selection tool to the corner of the video, because like I do not want it like going anywhere. I want it to cover the face cam so that it actually looks like my face cam grew. So let's say over there. So yeah, there you go. You now have a face cam that's grown. And to double check this, you can go over to a portion that is before the face cam scene and over here. And then another technique I'm going to teach you is using frame shortcuts. So these frame shortcuts are by default comma, which moves one frame to the left, and period, which moves one frame to the right. So I'm spamming comma right now, so this makes it so that my playhead moves to the left, and then I'm spamming the comma so that my playhead moves to the right. So, or not comma, sorry, period. So this is comma, this is period. So now you'll want to go over to the start of your thing. So as you can see in the video, it is still like that, but when I enter the face cam scene, boom, it is bigger. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is how face cam animations work. You can also step it up a notch by creating a face cam animation, but you don't have to do that if you do not want to. I usually don't, but in some cases where I do, I just use keyframing techniques to make the face cam animation look very, very smooth. So now that you know how to face cam animate, now is the time for effects. Effects are like effects. It says in the title, it says in the name, it's effects. Like video effects or audio effects. These are the ones that are going to affect your video. The most commonly used effect I use is the shaking effect. This is what causes like all the moving, like shaking on the video. So what I basically do for that is I have a preset. I initially used this for the subtitle shake in the first Glorious video, but I now use it for all of my shaking effects. So how I made it is I went over to this effects search tab and then searched for shake. So you see over here is all these shake effects. You want to click and drag the shake effect to the clip that you're going to apply it onto. So in my case, I'm going to apply it into the face cam animation. So drag it and drop it onto the face cam animation clip, and then you're going to see it in the controls tab over here. There are all these modifiers. This is how you're going to modify your shake and make it look better. So what I did is I just modified all these settings to basically the preset, but it's all up to you on how you want to edit this. But I'm going to summarize what the shake effect is like. So this amount over here is going to like determine how strong your shake is or how intense your shake is going to be. The speed is how fast it's going to be. The seed works basically like the Minecraft seed. It's going to like input a random shake seed. The smooth is going to determine how smooth your shake will be, and the scale, I have no idea how it works. Oh wait, okay, so like that. So like, yeah, you can have like the shaking effects in like multiple things. Like you can scale the video to make it like that. But I don't really use the scale effect. I just have it as default 1. So you can adjust these settings however you like. But my settings, I usually have it at 50 for the amount, speed all the way up. Seed at 0, I don't really care. Smooth all the way up. Now you have your shake effect done. And now the next step is to input motion blur. This is what's going to cause the shake to get its motion-y effect. So you can see some of the motion already. So if I play with the playhead, you can see that the face cam is shaking. So yeah, there you go. If you want to save it to a preset, you can right click on the shake effect and then set on create preset. So let's say you want to set it as I don't know, tutorial shake, and then hit save, and it's going to be in your presets tab over there. So yeah, there you go. That is how I do the shaking effect, and it's very, very useful if you want to put emphasis on loud parts or screams or anything else that you want to shake. So yeah, there you go. That is the shake effect. Now the next step is subtitles. Subtitles are a pain to make. Subtitles are what causes me to lose motivation in editing these videos. But since you guys came here to know how they are done, I'm going to teach you how the subtitles are made. What I usually do is I play out the video and listen to the audio so that I know what subtitles to put. So let's see.
Kick out the manager. Remove manager.
Alright, kick out the manager, remove the manager. I'm gonna double check if that's the correct audio track.
Kick out the manager.
Alright, kick out the manager, said by Electric. So yeah, now that you know who said it, how it's said, and what are the words, now you can start making your subtitles. For me, personally, I first, because I made a lot of subtitles in the past, I can just go over here and open a recent project. But for the sake of this tutorial, I will teach you how I make these subtitles. So, the first step is creating your text. To create a text, I said this earlier, click on this little text icon over here, click anywhere in the video, and then now you're going to see this little text asset being created, and you can see a little text playhead thing, and you can type it in your own text. So in my case, the text I'm going to type in is kick out the manager. So I'm going to type in kick out the manager, and then what I do next is I do not click out. Do not click out of your video because this is going to cause a lot of issues. Unless you know how HitFilm works and you just want to know how I edit my videos. But in my case, or in this tutorial's case, do not click out of your text. What you want to do next is hit Control A. This is going to select all of your text, and then you want to move over here to your text window, and then this is where you can modify your text. So first, the font. I usually use a font called Unisans. It's down here, it's called Unisans, and then I have this other box set as heavy italic caps. So yeah, there you go. Now you can see the Unisans look that I have, and then the scale that I usually put it at is 70, and then I next draw an outline, or I add an outline. So this is what's going to create that little color effect in the edge of the text. And then what you want to do next is click on this little color icon over here. So this is where the notepad sheet over here comes in handy. I have a little notepad sheet over here which you can use to copy paste the hex code. So in this case, Electric said this, so I can copy this hex code. So copy, and then I paste it over to this HTML mailbox like so. So there you go. Now that is the color. But if you want to make it easier, you can also add it to the custom colors. I have Electric's color over here in the custom colors tab. This is mine. I think this is Ox's, this is Storm's, this is Electric's, and this is Weeb's. I'm in the middle of editing the Gartic Phone video, so this is why I do not have all of the custom colors added yet. But as I go along, I do add all these custom colors. But in a nutshell, if you want to add a custom color, you click any of these white boxes over here. You want to set your color to whatever you want. So in my case, I'm going to set it to Electric's color, and then press on Add to Custom Colors. This is going to add the custom color to your Custom Colors tab, so that it's easier to select the color of your choice. So there you go. That is Electric's color. I'm going to hit OK, and then this is going to change the outline of your text. Now this is where you can click out. So you can see this is the subtitles almost done. This is not done yet. This is not the final subtitles yet. I'm now going to teach you how I made that pop-in effect. If you pay attention sometimes in the, not sometimes, always, in every single subtitle I do, there's a little pop-up effect, and that pop-up effect is basically like what causes the text to pop up. So to do that, I first set the position to what I have it as. So first I set it to 0. I then set the paragraph to center alignment, which is like right over here. Oh wait, no, I made a mistake. It did not set the paragraph alignment to the middle. So what I usually do is click. So what you want to do is click on this text icon. If it's still selected, then that's good. But if it isn't, then you want to click on the box, the text box, and then hit Control A to select it all. And then you can justify it on the center alignment. Then is the time to adjust the Y value, or like the value in which I have of the text, to like see how high or how low the text is on the screen. In my case, I have the default as 390.7 on the negative value. So there you go. It is right down there, and that is where I usually have the text at. The pop-in effect is very, very simple. It uses keyframes. So at the start of the text, at the very beginning of it, I create a scale keyframe. and then I'm going to move 4 frames forward, so I'm going to use a period, 1, 2, or sorry, that's going to cause it to create a period, but in this case you want to hit undo, and then click out of your text tool. So let's say I want to go to selection tool, and then click on your text again, just in case, and then you want to continue moving. Select period, so this is the start, so 1, 2, 3, 4, but if you're recording at like 30 FPS like I do, I always have it as 2. So like in this case is 2, so like 1, 2, and then another, and then this is where I zoom in the text. So I set the scale value to 115, and then I move 1 frame forward and then set the scale value to 110. So that is going to get the text to pop up like so. There you go. But if you're recording at 60 FPS, I recommend you adjust the keyframes to do the following frame adjustment things. So from the start, this is only if you're recording at 60 FPS, okay? Do not do this if you're at 30 FPS. Trust me, I did this mistake previously, and I only realized this now after I made the bread short. So what you want to do if you're recording at 60 FPS and you're editing at 60 FPS, you want to adjust it by 4 frames forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then add a keyframe by adjusting the scale value to 115, and then go 2 frames and set it to 110. Now you have your pop-in effect, and then one other thing is motion blur. Motion blur is your very best friend. This is going to add motion to your text, so it's going to make it look so much better. So yeah, there you go. That's your subtitles. You're done with that. If you want to, like, let's say, create a subtitle above here on the same time, so you can, let's say, you want to have another subtitle over here. So first, you want to insert a track if you have not already. But if you already have a video track above your text, you want to duplicate it using the same process, and then set the value to like whatever you want. So like, I'm gonna have it as 300.7, which is the default value I have. So another thing I missed is actually drop shadows. I almost forgot about drop shadows, and I only realized this now. So drop shadow is going to cause the shadow in your text. So I have the drop shadow effect, and I'm gonna drag it into my text. So as you can see, like right over here, you can see the shadow. I have the angle set to 135 degrees, and then I have the distance set to 10 pixels. There you go. That is the shadow effect I have on the subtitles. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to set the angle to 135 and the distance to 10. So that's going to cause the subtitles to like. And then so there you go. Let's say you want to change it to something else. So let's say height. So there you go. You can have another text over there, or I'm not gonna play that. But if you want to change it the color to something else, let's say I set it. Go ahead. So yeah, there you go. That is what's going to give you this little different colored look. So yeah, there you go. Your subtitles are done. Now, the most crucial thing about the subtitles is that you have to have them playing at the correct time, at the correct place. So what I mean by this is you do not want your subtitles to go over some audio clips that are not for that subtitle file. So in my case, I'm just going to play this. I'm actually going to put this back to scale to fit. So this is a little shortcut that allows you to zoom back to your video's original size and at the largest size possible. So I'm gonna play the video to what it's actually supposed to be.
Kick out the manager.
I want the subtitle to end after kick out the manager is done being said. So what I usually do is I always create a duplicate of the text at the end of the playhead. So like over here. This is going to automatically cut the subtitle clip, but if you wanna be safe, you can trim the text to that over there. Then after that, you can duplicate the clip, the subtitle to the next part, and then you can play.
remove manager.
And then you can change the subtitle to however you want to. So remove manager. And then let's say it's too long, so it's going to like overlap into this other one.
Manager. I swear, if you become manager,
I swear if you become manager. So I want to, so this is the next part. So this is when he says, I swear if you become manager or something like that. So I'm going to drag it, and then there you go. You have a little cut there, and then I'm going to change the text to, I swear if you become manager. So if you want, you can double check.
I swear, if you become manager
So yeah, it's good. It's a bit laggy right now because I'm recording while editing at the same time, which is very CPU intensive. But you can also just. So yeah, there you go. You see the text is like changed, and you see the pop-up effect over there. Yeah, if you wanna import like audio, you can do the same thing. So just import audio into this thing. It's gonna work. Unless it doesn't, and if it does, you probably need to download it again or do something else. But if it just doesn't work, you can just seek help from the community of HitFilm Express. That's the basics for now. That's basically how I edit my videos. If you're just considering like the FACECAM, the subtitles, and the jump cuts, you can basically make a video with just those 4 things. So plus keyframes, of course. Keyframes, you cannot forget them. They're amazing, and I use them all the time. One last thing is exporting. So this is where the in and out portions come in. So yeah, this in and out portion is going to be the determining factor on how you export your videos. So, or how long you export them. So let's say you want to export this entire scene over here. So you want to set the in and out point to no, not the playhead, but you want to set the in and out point to where you want to export. So let's say like that, and then you can press on export, add to queue, and then into the in and out area. This is going to allow you to go into the export tab and change your file name. So to change your file name of your videos, you want to press on this thing, the output thing over here, and then you can change the file name to, let's say, a tutorial. So like that. There you go. So and then save it, and then once you've done that, you can start exporting. But yeah, just click on start exporting and you're going to export your videos. I do not want to export this task over here, so yeah, just start exporting once you've done that. And yeah, it's going to export. I kinda broke HitFilm because I deleted the exporting queue that was exporting, so I'm just gonna remove the task and do this, and then export, add to queue, into out area. And yeah, there you go. It's gonna export, so you can see my tutorial video being exported. But I'm gonna suspend that because there's also another technique which you can add to queue your contents. This is going to export the entire project file. So like from start to finish, whether there is an into out point or whether there is an asset, like let's say 1 hour and 40 minutes in, that's going to export as well. So yeah, but in my case, I usually use the into out area to export things, unless I have the into out area to end at the very end of the clip. So like about there. So you can safely export the into out area or the contents. It depends on you. And then I change the file name to like something else. So let's say, I don't know, I just have like that. And then get save and then start exporting. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below and I'll try to respond to them as quickly as possible. And if I did miss anything, just let me know. I'm probably not gonna make another editing tutorial. And yeah, that is going to be it. One final tip when editing on HitFilm Express, just practice, okay? All of these things I've learned myself and with some helpful tips from the HitFilm community and on YouTube. So if there are any other tips you would like to know, try to experiment, try to play around with the effects, try to play around with the video and see what you can get. The point is to be creative and to be as innovative with your video as possible. So yeah, that is going to be it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!